All right, hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into Icon Recaps, where icons listen to icons. I am Daniel Icon Brown, and I'm here with my lovely friend Ricky. Ricky, how are you?
Hello. I'm
So,
good.
Big Brother Canada, it's what we deserve after season 7 that we don't really talk about because, if
Oh my
truth be
god.
told, I kind of stopped watching it halfway through. Um, just really bland. This season, however, none of the sort. Ricky, how are you feeling just 1 week of feeds that you have?
Honestly, I try my best to watch the feeds as much as I can, but I'm living for the amount of drama.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my god, we're not even through like the first week and the amount of drama we didn't even see like 25% of this drama in season 7 if we're being honest. But
We really didn't. It was really like super slow and bland last season. And I feel like
mhm.
this is just like everything is so game. And last season it was like game, personal, personal, personal. Like it was just like a bunch of like personal stories and like a bunch of stuff like that. But this
Right.
season we're like diving into like extreme gameplay, and I don't even know who's going home this week at this point. Like it's so kind of like up in the air right now, which is like super crazy because at first it seemed like a death sentence for Michael, but we'll get into all that. So basically to the viewers, hi, how are ya? What's gonna happen is I'm gonna just go ahead and recap week 2 because this is the second week technically. And then we'll jump into like the main points of the week so far, and then we're gonna get into like kind of a cast analysis and go through and like grade the players. So that should be cute. But to quickly recap the week, here we go. All right, so basically we have our head of household competition where Chris is going to come out on top with his power. He has the ultimate goal of completely taking control of the game, but very early on realizes that there is someone standing in the way, which would be Michael. And from the outside looking in, it sort of seems like a jealousy issue. Chris ultimately locks in Michael as his main target with the hopes of getting out a competition threat and pulling in Madeline all to himself. With a lack of socializing on behalf of the evictors, aka Michael and friends, the house quickly gets on board with breaking them up. So as kind of like to backset this whole backdoor plan, Operation Fake Backdoor Men Lee plan goes into full motion, and the majority of the house is in on it, with the evictors, Angie and Hira, being left out of the loop. With that, Chris ends up nominating his two pawns of the week, Brooke and Hira. With the nominations set in stone, the evictors seem to feel more comfortable as and continue to isolate themselves. When it is time to pick the players for the veto competition, it is announced that they yet again will not have HOHs competing in vetoes, which we'll get into, but I'm not a huge fan of this, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Um, where was I in my notes? Nonetheless, Vanessa, Maddie, and Carol are drawn to compete. So much irrelevant drama happened between Veto Pick and the competition. It was a lot of Maddie crying and not knowing what to do, and
Oh
then a
my
lot of
god.
everyone else trying to convince Maddie that she should not use the veto in the event that she wins. But fast forward to the veto competition results, because none of that mattered due to the fact that Hira is going to win the first veto of the season. And apparently it was like a super brutal competition, and like Vanessa was coughing up blood and
Oh
Hira
my
was like
god, I
bleeding.
know. It wasn't just her, too. It was like Brooke.
Yeah,
She like
her knees were all like, it looked like she just gave like a little handy and like on the cactus or something. I don't know why.
you did not do not do my girl Nessa like that.
No, I
Oh
was
my
talking about Brooke. But
god.
okay, anyways.
The
Sorry,
poor
I did I
thing.
this is what happens when I go off the screen.
Yeah, honestly. Like, but she shaded production too. She was like, I don't think production thought this one through or something like that. Like
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
And then like every time they talked about it, the feeds cut and like production was just not
Can we
having it.
talk about the amount of stomach bug thing going around in the
Yeah.
house?
Well, let me finish and then we can jump into that because
Oh
I
my
wanted to
god.
talk about that
Okay.
too. So, um, now the veto competition till the veto meeting was the calm before the storm. And when I mean calm, I don't really mean calm because this season is crazy. Carol literally almost quit, and now instead of everyone wanting to target the remaining of the evictors in the following weeks, Kyle is now literally half of the house's target moving on. But not to the good stuff because the veto meeting took place and it was such a lovely mess. We had everyone lying and trying to help cover up each other's lies. The evictors were shook at the core. Did I mention there was a lot of lying? So now that the nominees are final, the evictors had to come up with a campaign to save their beloved Michael because even though it seemed like a death sentence for Michael's game, there are people in the house who are possibly willing to flip this week. So with the help of Min Lee, Michael decides to publicly call out Kyle as his main kind of force in his campaign. Like, if you let me stay, I'm going to take out Kyle. So he brings up a lot of valid points in this argument, but it's up for debate if this really helped or hurt his game. It's kind of done both throughout the week. So we now sit here one day before the eviction, and it is looking like Michael will ultimately be going. However, this is Big Brother, and crazier things have happened. With that being said, let's jump into the meat and potatoes of this week. Ricky,
oh my God.
First, I want to ask you, because I don't know how I feel about, from a game perspective, was targeting Michael good for Chris's game? What's the simple answer?
Oh, it's too early to tell, I think, in my opinion. But honestly, this, like, upcoming evictions giving me like Sam versus Kat BB21 vibes because I think like something could happen last minute and like I low-key live for it, but at the same time like I love Brooke, so like I don't want to see her go, but the drama if Brooke goes,
oh my God,
I low-key would live for it.
Me too.
I really would.
See, I personally think that it like part of me thinks it was a good move, but part of me thinks it wasn't because when you look at the house, typically early on, everyone just goes with like the consensus target, which I guess would have been Min Lee at this point. But really, is Min Lee the consensus target when so many people want to break up the evictors? So that kind of becomes the consensus target when you like really think about it. From a game level, I just feel like he's trying to reel in the wrong people leaving this week. He's really trying to get like Madeline, or I'm just going to call her Maddie because that's what they call her on the feeds. He's really trying to get Maddie on his good side. And I feel like that's a lost cause. Like you're taking out her like soon to be boyfriend or whatever. You need to be working like Min Lee and like who was going to be the original target or, you know, other people like that. Like why are you so focused on, because it really does seem it was a jealousy thing. Like he wanted Maddie all to himself and Michael was the one standing in front of that. Do I also think that taking out of the evictors, who is the most threatening? I really don't think it's Michael. I think it's going to be like Jean-Luc or Rianne because I would like Maddie and Michael to be in a showmance to stand in front of me as a target early on because someone else is going to take that shot anyways. So I don't know. I'm really like up for grabs. Like, was it a good move? Was it? I don't really know.
Yeah, it's really too soon to tell if I'm being honest. But this season, like, I don't know if it's the stomach bug going around, but like they are like on something because the amount of gameplay, like everything is just so fast. Like, I don't know what it is. Like it's like an all-stars cast with a bunch of newbies. The way they're playing, but messy.
It's like they're like all here to play, but I just don't think that they're all like really good players. So when you put like a lot of bad players who really want to play, it gets really messy.
And Rianne, I don't know if she's really here to play because I forget about her half the time.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm kind of a Rianne. I liked her preseason. A lot of people didn't. They thought she was like dull and boring. But I'm really like getting like possible winner vibe, to be honest.
Where?
Okay, I cannot wait till she wins and we roll this back. I literally can't wait. Listen, Rianne is on the bottom of the house. Technically, which I really don't think that this is going to stay the bottom long because Kyle is a huge target moving forward. I think she's at least going to go really deep into the game. She is building a lot of personal connections. I don't know. I just think that out of the 4 people that are on the bottom, like the evictors, that she has like the best like relationships with everyone. And I don't know. I think you're gonna look back at Rihanna and be like, wow, she actually is playing the game.
I think that's gonna be you with Vanessa because
Let's
Vanessa.
not. Okay.
No, Vanessa, I seriously think she's playing great. And like she does a lot of unnecessary things, sure. But I think like it's working for her. I really truly do. She has this like weird gameplay and it's actually working for her. It's kinda like not to be cheesy, but like Vanessa BB17.
Do not compare.
No,
Do
because
not
Vanessa and
compare.
BB17, so many people throughout the season were like, why is she doing that? Why is she doing that? And then she would cry and like everything would be fine. And like I think Vanessa and Anna here, you know, she's doing sort of different same thing. Not with crying though. She just like she has a way of winning her way back with people when shit goes wrong. And like I don't know. I think she's playing great.
I think that she is. I don't think she's a horrible player. She is clearly really likable in the house. Like a lot of people want to work with her and gravitate towards her, but she's so like what she does with like the social bonds and connections that she does, like it completely goes back on like what's good for her. Like for example, the whole penning Kyle and Minley against each other. If these two people are like your number ones, or in their eyes, you're their number ones, why would you pen them against each other?
Well,
Like,
I think long game that could benefit her.
well
It's
then
just I think
why
she's
this
doing it too
isn't long game
soon.
though. This is like week 2. Like
Right, right. There's like a method to her madness, so I can see it working out for her if like neither of them come into power anytime soon. Like having, I mean, it puts her in a very good position if like that continues throughout the whole season. But yeah, that's way too soon for her to be doing that. But
no,
it
no, no,
could
no.
work for her, just like everything else. Like it works for her. It's really funny and interesting to watch. I love her.
No, it's not interesting. Well, I mean, it is interesting to watch. I just don't understand it. Like she'll literally go and like tear Minley apart personally to Kyle one on one and like talk like she's so stupid. Like ew, I just hate her. Da 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 da. And then go to
Covering her tracks. That's covering her tracks to make sure that he doesn't catch on that she actually does
Ricky.
like
You are
her.
delusional. You are delusional.
No,
She's
I'm
just like
not. I understand her, and she is doing great.
um I
You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. She is going to make it all the way.
uh,
Hmm. You
sweetie.
heard it here first. She is making it to final three.
No, because she's already getting in trouble for her messes. Like the
But
other
she's already doing damage control.
damage control is one thing. Like for example, she's going to like random people. Like she's telling Jamar she hates Kyle, and Jamar then goes to Sue and is like, "Hey, like, Vanessa wants to target Kyle next week," and Sue is like, "Wait, what? Like, are you sure it's Vanessa saying that?" And then Sue goes to Vanessa and is just like, "Yeah, like, what are you thinking for like next week?" And then Vanessa obviously is not gonna tell Sue that she wants to target Kyle, so she's like, "Yeah, just probably like take out the rest of the evictors." Da da da. So like people like Sue, for example, I think Sue is playing the best game right now because she seems to be level headed. She has a good grip on like the dynamics of the house. The only time I could see her getting into trouble is maybe if like a John Luke or like someone like that wins an HOH. However, even if they do, I don't think that Sue is going to be their number one target. Kyle's there, Chris is there. She has like these meat shields in front of her, and I think that Sue is going to go super. I don't know if she's going to win, but I think that she's has a good head on her shoulders, and she's actually making moves that make sense and not contradicting each other. Like
I
our
think
good sis
Vanessa's playing
Vanessa.
the whole house, and she just has you mad.
No, I'm not
Sue,
even mad.
no,
Don't.
Sue, like she's playing great socially, sure. Like I thought she was playing the best game socially, but honestly, lately I've been kind of seeing it like crumble a tad. Like I don't know. Like I don't know how the house feels. Like honestly, things change every day, so it's really hard to tell. But
Mm-hmm.
I think Vanessa is like the most likable, like in the house, and if she keeps on just doing damage control and like opening every kitchen cabinet door during fights, like the attention's gonna be off of her. It's gonna be on like everyone else. And she's doing a good job of keeping the light off her even when she gets exposed. And that's like a good starter pack to a great player. Because she's doing all these messy things, but the light isn't shining on her.
I don't know. It's like you have a like you have to like there's a herd of people. Like here's an analogy because Ricky, I know you love your analogies. Let's say you have a herd of like bad guys in front of you, and you have yourself and two allies, and you have two guns, and you're like, all right, here's Sue, here Kyle, or not Sue, here Kyle, here Minlee. Take your guns and don't shoot at the bad guys. Shoot at each other. Like that's like literally what happened. Like she's like take each other out and then we'll still have 10 other people to deal with. Like that just doesn't make no sense. And I'm not
Your
saying she's
analogy didn't make sense, hon. But
yes it no yes it this it literally did. Don't play.
Anyway, we can move on from this. So let's talk about like the fight.
Okay. So I was Team Michael, all of it. I really think that Kyle wasn't prepared for that, first of all. I mean, he was lying through his teeth all week, and I don't know why Kyle thought it was smart to lie in the first place. Like, I think that when Michael gets backdoored, you kind of just have to own it and be like, yeah, I'm sorry, whatever. But instead, he's like, listen, I swear on my kids I didn't do it. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I swear on the love for my kids and wife and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, why would you, like, Ricky, if someone, okay, let's say you're, for example, like Sheldon or like Sue in this example. You know that Kyle is lying to all these four people and he's over there like, I promise on my kids that I'm not lying. Like, I swear. Does that not paint someone as like the shadiest person ever and like the most untrustworthy?
Like, he should have just, swallowed his pride and owned up to it because like he made himself look so untrustworthy. And once you like show your morals like that and it's week one and you've already shown that, like people are not going to trust you. And there's no way you can do the most damage control possible and that's still not going to look good for you. I just don't like him because ever since like that little feud that he had with Minlee early on, like no thanks. Like I do not like the way he like talked to her and like lashed out on her for no reason. And also that whole room, and she just said for them to keep it quiet, like give the girl some peace. Like it's not. Oh my God, I'd be so mad if I was her. I would have acted the same way.
I think Minlee is slightly problematic, but I love it. And I think that's the reason that she was cast is to kind of be like there's typically like every season, like there's like the one person who's like just psycho mom, if you will, like doesn't really fit in and a typical early like pre-jury boot. But the difference is I think that Minlee has like game. Like I really like when I listen to her talk, like I'm like drawn in and she's like the other night she was like, you know what? We actually just forget it. We're not keeping Michael. We're not keeping any of the evictors because they're bitter jurors. I can already see it. They're gonna go to final two. And if you came here to play Big Brother and you want to play with loyalty and respect, you can get out. And I was like, oh my God, come on, Minlee.
Yeah, no, I think she has a really good game, but like also I think she was completely reasonable to ask for a little peace and quiet when she's sleeping. Like, I just no. Like if you're going to wake me up, it better be for something good and involving me. Like she was not part of that. Like why bother her? Just I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, I don't like Kyle. I think he's going to definitely be a pre-juror. I don't know when he'll go because obviously it depends on who wins HOH and when. That's like the luck side of Big Brother. But yeah, I don't see him going far nor winning. I think he has no chance at winning. I also think Angie has no chance at winning. I do like Angie, but her social connections in the game, they're a little lacking.
Yeah.
But I do like that she has that connection, that with, oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? You know who
Chris.
I'm talking about. Yeah, Chris. Oh my
Chris.
god. Yeah, I do like
Crazy
that
eyes.
connection.
Ricky, he literally like, have you seen him talk to people? He's like this.
Yeah, he's intense.
Or like my favorite is like the Michael eyebrows. Like,
oh my god. No, but I love that connection though because it gives me like old school Big Brother vibes because you don't see that nowadays on Big Brother, especially US. It's so cookie cutter nowadays. Like it's just I don't know. I mean, and then Big Brother 21. Let's not go there.
let's not.
The only great thing about it was that it showed some like some big girls on the cast, which like I lived for. But you don't see that. Like that was the only positive takeaway from BB21 is it showed some big girls and we had Nicole and Kemi. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yes. Actually, like Arissa, I actually like think I can really pull up the clip where she's talking. She's like doing like preseason press. Yeah. And she literally like drags Big Brother US so hard. But it's like a classy drag. Like Arissa's a very like classy woman, so obviously she's not gonna be like Big Brother America is like racist and disgusting and like I can't believe like people watch
not
that.
Like Wendy Williams, because Wendy would go like that.
Yeah, Wendy, like she's definitely not Wendy Williams. She's very classy, and I'm going to try and pull up the clip of her kind of just like shading. Okay, here it is.
Oh my god.
You see different kinds of people on our show, and I also think our bar for what we expect in terms of respect for each other is really high. You know, I feel like that's one thing that does set Canadians apart. I think some of the crunchier elements of this human experiment, I think don't necessarily happen so much on our show. You see,
I feel like she was definitely at that moment. She was like, some of the more crunchy experiences in human nature doesn't happen on our show. I think she was definitely like throwing shade at Big Brother 21.
Right. There are some bad things that have happened. Like, I don't want to say on the same level as BB21, but like, you know, there have been some stuff I like have seen on Twitter because like I haven't watched live feeds as much as I wish. I've been very busy, but I like always keep up on Twitter and like I saw something about someone asking for Jamar to say a certain word, you know.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that because I actually watched this live and I was like, did he just like okay, so basically what happened for those who are viewing, this is like the little BB King controversy. Kyle was in the Have Not room with Jamar and a few other people. I think Maddie was there and like Rianne or something. I don't know. But basically Kyle was like, hey, like, have you said it yet to Jamar? And Jamar was like kind of confused at first. And then like he was like, yeah, you and Sheldon, like, have y'all said it yet? And Jamar is like obviously like talking about like the N-word, or like calling each other the N-word. And Kyle then goes, or no, Jamar says like, no, like we decided like we're not gonna do that because like it. I mean, I personally don't see like the issue with like black people doing it, but I guess like just to avoid the whole topic in general, they're just not going to go there, which like I respect for them. Like if they don't want to, like obviously it's up to them. But
I hate this Kyle guy. Oh my god.
I know, he's so annoying. And then Kyle goes, no, like do it, like do it. When I'm like around, can you drop it? Like just do it for me, do it or like around me. And Jamar's like, nah. So like Kyle, what his motive was, he wanted to be in the room and have Jamar and Sheldon call each other the N-word. Such like
does he get off on that? Like
right? Like I was like, is this some kind of like turn on for Kyle? Like what is? I've never heard anyone like be so obsessed with.
Oh my god, he looks like Jack. Like.
No,
I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Not
like,
Jack.
If you were to compare his cast picture to Jack, like they have like a similar position.
They do.
And it's just like and the same color hair, and I know like that's so like, but I'm sorry, like there is comparisons there.
He looks like an actual like. I don't want to drag him.
They both have blonde hair. Oh
Yeah,
my
they
God.
like, to say the least, they both have long hair. And I think his problem is he doesn't like upkeep it. It's very like
Mexican.
caveman-esque.
That's a nice way to put it compared to what I was gonna say. But
I'm trying to find like the caveman-esque is like what I'm going to go with, because it,
right, like he hasn't showered in 2 weeks and he hasn't like put any shampoo or conditioner
or
in
like
it.
or like I don't mind the beard. Like the beard is fine. Just make sure it's like not growing out into. Let's not drag his personal appearance, but
Right, we're
we're
nice
classy.
people. I try to be.
Okay, so we've kind of like, I mean, okay, so with the whole, if you're Michael in this situation, what is your best move to stay in the game when you get blindsided at the veto meeting and you thought that everyone in the house was like gonna vote out Min Lee, and now you find out that everyone, literally almost everyone in the house, was a part of a plan to backdoor you? Where do you go from there?
So if it were me, I would definitely rely on emotional manipulation and just make it all about the betrayal and how I had so much trust for him and just like break down crying and like just confide in like everyone I'm close to in the house and make them work for me because, you know, think smarter, not work harder. So I get everyone feeling so bad for me that they want to keep me, and then, you know, just work it off the emotional manipulation. I think that was like probably his best bet because like he could have reeled in his allies, made them feel so bad, and make even the other people feel like, damn, he's like so emotionally like hurt by this, like he's gonna gun hard for it, which like he kind of did, but like I would have just relied more on like the emotional, like just what. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying emotional, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah. I definitely think that, see, a lot of people on Twitter are like, why did he go call out Kyle? That's such a bad move. Like, no, you need to
I
like,
don't think it was bad. I just
right.
think he should have played more like, I don't want to say it, but like kind of like play more victim. Just like be really like just shed a few tears. Like, I mean, I can cry in demand.
I think
I don't want to do it right now. But like, I can do it.
He is playing victim like a lot, but I think his issue is you need to do the call out. I think calling him out was good, especially because it wasn't even his idea. It was Min Lee's idea. And Min Lee is someone that you're going to need to get on board this week. So if you do what she says, that could register in her mind and like be like, listen, Min Lee, I did exactly what you said. I'm out here. I did what you wanted me to do. Please help me stay this week. Like, you're my only hope. If I stay this week, just pledge loyalty and like talk. Right. I think Min Lee is crucial in him staying this week because with Min Lee, I feel like Carol could get on board and Vanessa. That would be the three others that he would need to get on board along with Hira. But I think Hira is probably easier to flip. I mean, I really think it's going to be hard. This is a hard position to be in. Michael, I don't know if he has like the mental strategic chops to like maneuver through this week. I think that at different times it might happen and like it might not. But yeah, I definitely think calling Kyle out was good. Where he has his problem is he needs to focus. Like, okay, you called him out, great, but like that you can't stop there. You have to go talk to more people. You can't just like
he should get his allies to do the work for him. Like, obviously he worked too, but like he could get conversations going and get the house talking.
With allies, I don't think that it would help him if like when you say allies, I think maybe like get Min Lee to be your ally and do the working for you, not so much.
Right, that's what I mean. Yeah, like her, like she kind of tried to do it for Nico, but
yeah.
We all saw how that went. Also, oh my god, can we talk about how Carol tried to self-evict? Well, thought about it.
Okay, yeah, we could talk. I wanted to talk about that too. But just to wrap up the whole thing, I think if John Luke and like Maddie and Rianne were to go campaign for Michael, I think that would look bad because the whole reason that he's on the block and what's appealing about getting him out is you're breaking up a 4-person alliance. So if you can just, I tell them, I'd be like, listen, y'all, I appreciate it, but don't campaign for me this week. If people come up to you, say that you're going to keep me, like that's fine. But and say good things about me if they talk to you, but don't go out of your way to try and campaign, because if like let's say like Ricky, like I'm on the block and I have someone come up to you that you're already thinking I'm really close with, like you would be like, okay, well, like if Michael's not even gonna talk to me, let's just like whatever, like he can go. You know what I mean?
Well, like I meant like more like a campaign and like throwing Chris under the bus, because they knew that Chris was like this was like a betrayal. So if they could have like put some like fake shit. Well, anyway,
No,
put
you
some
can
fake
cuss, fuck shit,
stuff
bitch.
in like Chris's mouth, you know, like say like, oh my god, Angie, Chris was gonna backdoor you this week, or like, you know, like not necessarily Angie, but like, you know what I mean, like put like some kind of fake narrative in there. They could have bought it, because, and if they heard it from like someone that wasn't Michael, maybe, I don't know, it could have stirred something. I don't know. Pot stirring is my thing.
Yeah,
But
I definitely think that like they need to start lying, because
right.
if they're gonna lie,
Maddie,
like
literally.
if you tell the truth, like really his truth is so irrelevant, because his truth is that, oh, I was blindsided. Yeah, whoever you're going to be campaigning to knew you were going to be blindsided and was okay with that. So your campaign needs to turn into, hey, Minley, he called you a disgusting, vile bitch, and next week he wants to put up you and Jamar. Like that's
Right.
that's like the angle that you need to go.
But speaking on the line thing, I saw a tweet earlier of someone saying like Maddie looking at the rule book to see if lying is even allowed, and it was like a picture of Chrissy looking at the rule book from BBOTT. I literally died. It was so funny.
Yeah, Maddie is such like a. I like her. I didn't at first. I liked her preseason. Then
I liked her preseason. I didn't like her like in the first few days, but she is growing on me.
Yeah, same, because she's kind of like queen energy. Like she's on the bottom right now, and she's like being so vocal, and I just love that. I don't think she's like the best player or nothing, but
Definitely not. But she could have get up and.
I think that the gays will stand her if she like wins an HOH and like
Oh my God.
puts up like Kyle and Chris or something. But so let's talk about, as you said, let's talk about Miss Carol. Girl, do you know how bad it would be if Carol self-evicted? Like the first 2 weeks, someone self-evicts.
They probably fought so hard for her to stay.
No,
versus
Ricky, do you
Joe.
know what they did? I don't know if you know this, because it's not really being talked about too much. They compensated her, basically, and said, if you stay, you'll never go on Slop.
That's what they said.
She basically can't go on Slop the rest of the season.
And does the whole house know that?
Every time it's talked about, like every time someone like mentions like yeah, the feed's cut. So it's really hard to like know what everyone knows, but they basically told her that like she'll never be a have-not, she'll never have to eat slop, and it's a mess.
Oh my God, I thought you meant like money, and I was like,
oh.
I was
I don't
like,
know.
damn.
Imagine what if that. I mean, that could be a thing too, but like obviously Carol wouldn't tell nobody that. I didn't even think about money.
Well, that's why there's thing I think about compensation. But like, also, I was just gonna talk about like, Carol, you a big girl out here repping. Like, you can't be self-evicting.
Right.
Like, you know, like
us other big girls are trying to get on the show too.
Like, damn, don't be a disappointment. Like, you worked so hard to get in the show. Why would you leave? Like, honestly, like, BB19, I completely understood where Megan was coming from. Like, she, like, was dealing with stuff. And, like, people said if she knew, like, if she was going through that, then she should have just never been on the show. But, like, how are you to know that, like, the environment in the house would trigger that? Like, you know what I mean?
It's different because Carol's reasoning was she didn't feel like her body could take it. And because in the veto competition, she like apparently chipped her tooth or something. And it was basically like,
oh my God,
baby.
Cry me a river.
Right. She was like I promised my wife and I promised my child, like if I I wouldn't go on if my body couldn't take it. I will do everything, but I won't hurt my body. And I told them that, and da 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 da. And she even like was talking on the feeds and was like, listen, like I'm just gonna use this to get out of the game. Like almost like using her tooth as yeah. She said stuff like that to just try and like and she started packing her bags, and then the feeds cut for like 2 or 3 hours, and everyone thought like, oh my gosh, she's gone. And then the feeds came back on and she was there, and that's when everyone was talking about Slop and Carol and whatever. But yeah.
Oh my god, did they stay over the overhead and tell
it was like
imagine being a fellow house guest and like after like 2 hours of her being gone, they say on the overhead, so Carol is staying and she can no longer be put on slop for the remaining of the season.
they're like everyone gather in the living room. Carol.
Oh my god, what happens if like someone's HOH and that's like why they want Carol gone? They have to be able to convey that. Be like, I am targeting you, Carol, and putting you on the block because you can no longer be put on slop. And that to me is threatening because that's one spot less for me to not be on a slop.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well, this is like the issue. Who's gonna target Carol now? Like really, in my opinion, if Carol wants to leave, let her leave. Like if you don't want to be there,
she might lash out again. Like the whole slop thing, I don't think that's gonna stop like her from ever feeling like she can't be in this house anymore.
No,
but that is pathetic. Like I would chop off my damn pinky to be on Big Brother.
Right.
And you're gonna cry over chipping your damn tooth.
Right. I would like take like a wrench or whatever and like pull out like 3 random teeth just to get on the show. And you're crying because you.
Is it weird that I value my teeth more than my pinky? I like
I mean, to be honest, like I guess I would rather have my pinky cut off than like 3 random teeth. But I was just showing like the extreme.
I would cut off my pinky, but I don't know if I can pull out my teeth. Like I don't want those fake teeth. Like my teeth are fine. Like they're great. Like
no, actually, yeah, I would do the teeth because I feel like the teeth would hurt worse.
That would hurt so bad. I remember watching like Truth or Dare.
I saw that movie.
And some girl had to pull out her teeth.
Oh my god, let's not talk about that. That was so gross. And it wasn't just one tooth, it was like a few. But
I know, it was a few. There was like several teeth being pulled out.
It was like 6 teeth or something like that. But child, anyways. So let's Carol. Now Ricky. I think that Carol doing this, we saw this a little bit with Sam, Big Brother 20. Sam wanted to quit like so much, and production got her to stay and basically like forced her hand and said like, please stay, like you need to stay.
Right.
Against like their will. Now, when you're in the game and you're playing, do you feel like you need, oh, Carol is such a big target, she doesn't even want to be here? Like, no, like, why would you go for that target? Like, you're going to have, especially, like, maybe I could see, like, later on if you really think that they could win, but that's not going to be appealing as a target. So you're literally just, like, locking them down for, like, end game. And, like, we saw it with Sam. Sam didn't want to be there, but she made it, like, all the way to Final Five.
I wonder if she got compensation.
Maybe. I don't even remember, but the point is, like, excuse me, no one wants to waste an HOH on someone that doesn't even want to be there.
Right, I get that, but like maybe like at some point she'll have another lash out and they're just gonna be so sick of it. Like people in BB20, like Angela especially, they got so sick of dealing with Sammy and like her like craziness. And
I know, but they still didn't do nothing about till Final Five. Like I really just like when, for example, if you're Angela and your HOH and like there's Haley, Fessy, and like Bailey or something, are you gonna take out Sam?
Yeah, definitely get that point. I just don't know if that's gonna be what happens this season. I hope not, but I can see that happening. But honestly, Carol, I can see her just like spazzing again, and then the house is just gonna be over it.
I'm hoping it's like a triple eviction and she goes home because like she's on the block and like you know there's not anyone, no one wants to like save her.
True.
Maybe.
Or, what if she ends up self-evicting?
They're like,
That's
please
like
don't.
so disappointing though that like we already had one and then another one's already considering like the amount of people that want to play Big Brother.
I know. It's annoying. And like, I wish we had more context on like Nico, because I don't want to say too much about him. Like, it's annoying, but what if like...
Right. You don't want to assume what they're going through, but at the same time, it's like hard not to be pissed off when you don't know the background story and you just feel like, because like the show kind of made it look like he gave up because he knew he was already leaving.
Yeah.
So like, if you're not going to control your own narrative and you're going to let the show make one for you, you're not really helping yourself. But at the same time, we're not entitled to know your narrative either, like your side of the story. So it's like, it's hard.
Yeah, it's tricky. But
I'm pissed. So
yeah, me too. But moving on, is there anything else you want to get into before we go into rating the players?
Ooh. Well, I'm just like, I guess it's part of rating. Well, Jamar and Minley.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that really quick.
I have never seen a showmance like this, and
I love it.
I live for it. I literally love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my god, I love it. Like, he like spanks her ass and then like calls her disgusting, and I'm just like, what is this?
It's
like,
so like not. It's like very like elementary.
It's like the Joker, and like why am I blanking on her name? I just watched the show.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah, Harley Quinn.
Yeah, it's very like 6th grade love. Like, you're disgusting. No, you're disgusting. And it's like very flirtatious, and I think a lot of it is like sexually charged, but I digress. I don't know.
God, you said like I really want a blowjob and like feeds cut.
Well,
I was like, oh my god.
No, I remember.
I love how he talks to the live feeders too. He's
Yes.
always talking to us.
He always is. And there was this like one clip, and he was like, "You're gonna make my little friend wake up," and then feeds cut. Like, I was like, oh my god. So he's very vocal.
No, they were like the best casting decisions ever.
Yes, I love them. I actually think they're like my favorites right now. Like,
and
my
Ica
favorite male and
stands
female.
them, so like it's good when Ica stands them. Like,
right. I know Ica said like Jamar was her favorite preseason. I don't remember what she said about Minley, but I mean, how can you not like her?
Oh my god, someone tried comparing Jamar to Swaggy, and I'm just like, no. Like, I don't see that at all. Like, they both have loud personalities, sure, but they're so different, and like I don't really agree with that comparison at all, and I find it offensive to both parties because like they're just so different, and like
that's like
Swaggy did not talk or treat Bailey the way, neither are wrong ways to treat their girls, but like it's just so different. Like, I just don't know.
That's like what I hate about people sometimes is like, especially because there's only like one or, well, I mean, for US more so than Canada, but usually there's only like one or two people of color a season. And like, I remember when Big Brother 19 came out and the cast was revealed, and people were like, oh my god, Dominique reminds me of Davon. And I'm like, what? Like, how? Like, Dominique and Davon are like literally like polar opposites. And I don't know, it's like a thing that people like just compare skin color rather than like personality almost. But
yeah, but I do love Swaggy. He follows me on Twitter. So.
Lucky you, Swaggy, if you're watching. At Denai Come Brown. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my
god. But okay, so let's get into rating the players. I have them in like alphabetical order. So let's start with, okay, so are we doing 1 to 10? Are we doing A, B, C, D, E, F? What are we doing? Or I guess there's no E, but how do you want to do this? You're kind of setting the tone because I've never like this is my first like a recap. So whatever you decide right now is like what we're gonna do the rest of the season.
Wait for like rating them.
Yeah, like what is the rating system?
Just go from 16 to 1.
Ooh, okay. So would you want to do like
Well, Nico's 16th, obviously, right?
who?
Nico is 16th.
Yeah. So are you doing it like who's playing the best game, who's most likely to go home, who's
Ooh, let's do placement predictions.
ooh, placement predictions.
Right.
I feel like that's gonna like change so much, but we can't.
It'd
Or,
be interesting to look
or
back.
let's do like most like okay. How about for most likely to go home is like the lowest. So like let's say you think that Angie and Carol are at the top of my list. So I'm just gonna say their names. Let's say you think Angie's most likely to go home next. You would put her at like 15, and then like let's say you think Carol after that, like you put then Carol, and so like basically your number one is who you think is gonna be safest next week.
Just next week.
Yeah, I was just gonna do like a weekly thing because it's like a weekly podcast, so like it'd be like
Okay, sure. We can do. Or like. Do we want to do safest or most likely to win the HOH competition?
Because that's like so
Let's just do safest because like HOH competition that could be like literally anything.
right.
Okay.
All right. So I guess I'm like a little unprepared, so we're kind of going off the fly. So I guess what we're gonna do is who we think. So your number 15 is going to be who you think is most likely gonna go home next week, and then your number one is going to be who you think is going to be safest. And this is going to be like so. Tomorrow is the eviction in HOH, so they have to not only survive this week, they have to not be on the block next week, I guess. Is that how we're doing it?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Because this is going out Wednesday. Sorry for the viewers. This is going out Wednesday, so it's not going to really... We're literally just guessing who's going to... This would work if we're doing it on Thursday after the eviction. Not so much... Let's just do, like, rate the house guest 1 to 10 gameplay.
Okay, that's so much easier.
Yeah, that's, like, so much simpler. Sorry,
Okay,
everyone.
well, I have, like, the thing right out in front of me. So, we're not going to do Nico. So,
Yeah.
we'll start with Chris.
Okay,
So,
Chris.
1 through 10, what do you think?
Chris is, and I guess like when we do it, we can just do like a quick like analysis of like each and like our thoughts because we didn't really touch on like individual players. So Chris, I think at first he had a little bit of HOH-itis. However, I think moving forward, he's not in the best spot, but not in the worst spot. I definitely think he could have used his power better. Right now, I'm gonna give him like a solid 5 out of 10.
Oh my god.
I don't think he played it horrible, but I think he could definitely do better. So I'm gonna give him a 5.
Okay. I think I'm gonna give Chris a 7 out of 10.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, oh my god, you act like that's amazing. Okay. I think
Well, I'm just saying, like, what is 10? Is 10 like Vanessa Russo, or is 10 like just a good player?
Well, I'm just thinking of like a grade on a test. Like 10 out of 10 is like 100, so 7 out of 10 is like a 70. So like I think like he's passing, like he's definitely built some bonds. Like he's got a game going, like it's flowing. There's like a little blood clots in there. Why am I getting my analogies? But like you know, like he's got it going. Just there's some issues, but I think he can recover. Like I don't think it's over for him by any means.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, let's go to Brooke. Now, I want to give Brooke a high number because I feel I like Brooke. I think that in her position as the pawn, she's done good. She hasn't blown up. She's upheld her connections. She's talked around, but she still was nominated. So I feel like that alone should like deduct points. So I'm gonna give Brooke a grading for the week. Not necessarily like, do I think that she'll have this grade next week? No, for this week alone, I'm going to give her a 5 as well, just because she was nominated. So she's been at risk all week long, and there has been talks of flipping the vote. So there's a lack in her strategy there. Like, she hasn't covered all her bases like she needs to survive this week, given it's hard to week 2 when there's like 500 people voting. But that's what I'm going to give her. Because I think she has done also a good job at like making sure that she's trying to stay low, not blow up, and suppressing feelings that she has a voice in the diary room. She's not going to Chris and being like, "You dumb jock, why did you put me up?" Like she has said she wanted to. So I'm giving her a 5 out of 10.
So I'm actually going to give Brooke an 8 out of 10.
Oh my God, Ricky.
So I think she's done, even though she got nominated, like, she's done a great job, like you said, not blowing up. But she also, when Michael decided to do, like, the lashing out, she, like, cut it out and, like, she made it, like, stop. She's like, okay, you just need to calm down. Like, she put an end to it. Like, I think she knew, like, he could start benefiting off of it. So she shut it down really quick. Then also when she walked in on the Boys Alliance, like, little thing going on, she walked right out and didn't, like, really expose that at all. So she kept that to herself. And I think she's very smart and calculated. This is like a rough week for her, but I know she can bounce back, and she has a good head on her shoulders. So I'm like saying, I'm giving her an 8 out of 10, not just based off this week alone, but what I can see from this week going forward and how that'll play out.
Oh my God. Okay, so I think I might need to rethink my grading system because you're being super lenient. Like, you're giving someone who's facing eviction an 8 out of 10 gameplay.
Yes, because I think she's been holding herself really well. It's hard. Like, it's hard being on the block. Like, I haven't played from experience. I had a hiccup. But, like, from what I've heard from, like, so many Big Brother house guests that have played and then come out of the house, like, the amount of emotional drain and toll that you take by facing eviction and everything, like, she's been handling that really well. So I'm impressed by that.
Okay, well, next is Angie. You can go first.
Okay. So, Angie, I'm going to give a 4 out of 10. So... I just think that she's laying very low, not really building any really social bonds to the extreme that she should be. And I just think that she's going to end up being a pawn of the season, possibly. Or if she doesn't handle being put on the block well, which who knows if she would, like, it could get really bad really fast for her. Just like judging based on what I've seen, I don't know who else would really protect her from going up on the block other than Chris. So yeah, I just like, there's just like not a lot going on, and like what I've seen, I'm not really impressed by, other than like her connection with Chris, which is very, like, I love it, but like you need to make more connections like that with other people, and even with Chris's connection with, like, that she has with him, it's not like his top 3 connections by any means. So
yeah, I agree, and for those reasons, I'm gonna give her a 2 out of 10.
Okay, I thought I was being harsh with my 4.
No, okay, so I think she's
we
done.
have completely different grading systems.
Yeah, I think you're, like you said, you're thinking more so like a 10 is like 100 and like an 8 is like an 80. I'm thinking more so like 1 through 10, 5 is neutral, 10 is good, 1 is bad.
Yours is more simplistic.
Yeah, but so I'm giving her a 2 out of 10 because, Miss Angie, you have, first of all, are an annoyance to live with, according to like literally everyone in the house. You're hard to deal with, and it's ironic that you're coming from Min Lee for doing this because everyone thinks that you're the pain. Oh my god, I feel like I'm being mean now. But
Damn.
I mean, she is such a, I've never like I watch the feeds often. I never
Well,
see her
I
talk
know you do.
strategy. I never see her talk strategy. And it's so annoying because when she was confronted with the whole plan, like when she was blindsided at the veto meeting, she went upstairs and was like, "No, it's okay, don't worry about it. Like, it's fine. Like, I would like to know, but like it's fine, do whatever. Like, I'm here." I'm like, "Oh my god, like if you're so passive with your like
I don't think she's
gameplay."
living up to like what we saw in her preseason interviews because she said she wanted multiple showmances and all this. And like I was just like, sis, you're delusional to think you can get into multiple showmances because like to just find one connection in the house is like not as easy as you think.
Right.
How could you find multiple? And like clearly she's facing a reality check because her only connection is Chris.
And
She's
he
not
doesn't even
like
value her that much.
right, like she's disposable to him. So I don't know what she's doing, but
I mean, what I'm gonna give her is I don't think she's a huge threat right now. I think if people are gonna go for threats, you're not gonna put up Angie. I think she's perfect pawn material, and that's hoping that
right.
she doesn't lash out if she's on the block. Like I don't know, like you said, how is she gonna handle being on the block? Some people just sit down, take their medicine. Other people rebel. So I don't really know
If
what
she
she would
wins
do.
HOH though, she could change her game around.
Yeah,
For sure.
I mean,
Depending on how she goes about it.
right, for the good or for the bad. But
Right.
I don't know. She's so like, and she's delusional, thinking that she's in a good position. I think she really does think that she's playing a good social game, but all the people that she really likes, like she really likes Kyle, but Kyle will go into a room and completely like bash her and say that she's like the scum on earth and like all this stuff. So I just don't see her social abilities even working. Like she's spending so much time not strategizing and trying to build social relationships, and those social relationships aren't even benefiting her.
Right. All right, so let's go on to Minley.
Okay, so child, I love Minley. I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna give Minley a. I'm hovering between 6 and 7 because one, I think as a character, like she's my favorite. Like she's like queen, but gameplay wise, I'm having a hard time like separating like personal and gameplay with her in particular. I'm gonna go 7. I'm actually tempted to go 8, but I'm just gonna go 7. Minley, queen of like flipping the house, not really flipping the house, but queen of being open to other possibilities, queen of being open to flipping the vote, queen of making sure all her, alliances are in check. And she just has like a really strong hold on the game. I feel like she's very aware a lot of the times. And I think she's super adaptable, which is I think that's the biggest thing in Big Brother. You have to be adaptable. And the fact that she was gung ho about wanting Michael out and he heard him out and is like, maybe I should keep Michael. I think that shows a lot about her gameplay and that she can be open to maneuver and like camouflage to whatever background she fits in. Also, she was the reason that this whole fake Minley backdoor plan is painted out. I mean, considering it almost did go through for a second, like she literally almost was the backdoor target for like a hot minute. But other than that, I think she's recovered well. I think that almost her being the fake backdoor plan paints her as like a waste of an HOH, like it's already been done kind of thing, even though it hasn't. And it just seems like a weak move. So moving forward, people aren't going to be as wanting to target her. So yeah, that's why I'm giving her a 7. What about you, Ricky?
I'm gonna give her a 9 out of 10.
Oh my god.
So I like going off of everything you said because I don't want to repeat you, but on top of all that, I think she's also coming across as someone that's very upfront, genuine, and like just real. And I think that's gonna benefit her tremendously going forward in the game. And everyone that wanted her out, yeah, I do think that like now they're gonna see it as like, do we though? Because like some like with her, at least we know what she's thinking, like what she is gonna do versus like unpredictability Angie or something like that. So like I think like she could go really far and like she's doing a really good job. Honestly, I don't want to compare the two, but so I'm not going to. But I'm going to say that her gameplay, in a way, because it's like it's loud, but it works. So it kind of gives me like completely different. They're not the same. Different but similar. I've seen some similarities, not many, but between her and Aika, little similarities with their the way like
I can see that.
The way that they're kind of like loud and like bold, but
I think Aika is more like I think they're both strategic, but I think she's more like socially aware than Minli is.
Oh, for sure. That's why I only say some similarities. I just see like her approach is a little similar in the sense that like she's giving off the vibe that like, hey, like look, like what I want. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I don't like. This is like she speaks her mind, and like it could bite her in the butt. But for Aika, it worked for her because Aika's more socially aware, though, like you said. So like she was a little more calculated and careful than Minli, who will literally say anything. But I do think that it's working for her right now, and that's why I'm giving it 9 out of 10, because I think that the people that wanted her to be backdoored, I don't think that's their agenda moving forward. Okay. Yeah, so she did a really good job with that.
All right, so let's move on to Michael, who is probably going to be the one going home. Ricky, you can start.
Okay, I just feel so far away. Honestly, my camera angle has been so bad during this whole thing.
No, it's fine.
But, who are we doing?
Michael.
Okay. A 2 out of 10.
Okay.
I mean, if you're gonna get blindsided week 1, clearly you're doing something wrong. Like you should like always be pleasing the HOH in some type of way, not necessarily kiss assing, but like you should not allow yourself to be blindsided week 1. Like that's kind of crazy. But okay, honestly, I'm being a little too cruel with the 2 out of 10. I'm like reevaluating.
Really, because I think that you're being correctly harsh.
I just think, but because like at the same time though, like he blew up and it kind of benefited him a little in my opinion, but
it's also hurt him. I think that
actually maybe my 2 out of 10 stands.
Yeah,
he just was a firecracker and it didn't.
I mean, what I'm hoping is that since you gave, like, there's 2 options to go home this week, and you're giving 1 an 8, so I'm hoping you're putting all your eggs in one basket, and so, like, really, this one should be, like, a 1 or 2, so I'm, like, I agree with your analysis. Okay, so I'm also gonna give him a 2 out of 10. I think that he could have played it worse, so I'm, like, not gonna give him a 1, but the fact that you isolated yourself all week, you had suspicion that you might be a backdoor target, but you didn't really act upon it. I mean, I understand that people were lying to you all week, so it's kind of hard to like pick up on like, maybe I need to go talk to him, but you should have been doing that anyways. You stayed with your 4 all week long, and that's fine. If you have 3 allies that you're really close to, perfect. But don't sit around all day with them and like make it that obvious that y'all are together. I think that he's campaigning a little too late. Like night 1, it was him and John Luke in the hot tub, and they were like, "Should we be campaigning right now, bruh?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'll get to it." I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like, just a lack of like urgency, I guess, is his main problem, and. Yeah, he's probably going to go home tomorrow, and I really actually like him as a person. I think he's, like, really nice and nice to look at as well. But,
oh my God. Received a phone call. Okay, if we keep going like this, we're going to be talking until midnight.
Yeah, let's speed it up a little bit.
We got to go a little faster, like 2 sentences. Okay, so let's do Kyle next. Honestly, a 1 out of 10 for me.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm sorry, I just don't like him, so maybe that's why. But also, I just feel like he's just not likable. Like, I think he's like one of the least likable people in the house. And I don't know. That's just me. I'm just leaving it there.
Okay, I'm gonna give him a 2 out of 10. Kyle is, I think he was fine early on. Like he was in one of the best positions in the house early in the week, and he's just like tornadoed down and made unnecessary lies and like stuff that can easily
Right.
be traced back down to him. So for those reasons, and the fact that literally there's probably like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people that would target him next week, he's getting a 2 for me.
Okay, let's do Sue.
Okay.
I'm going to do a 9 out of 10.
Ooh.
Like Finley. I think it had like the best social game going in, and it's only week 1, but like still like it's technically week 2. Like she had the best social game going in, and then lately I've been seeing it going like teetering just a little bit, but like honestly, I see her going really far, and yeah, I think she's doing great.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you and do 9 out of 10. Sue, I think she's in such a good position. She has so many meat shields in front of her, like Chris and Kyle, and even Sheldon to an extent. They're working really closely together, and Sheldon is also kind of viewed as like a threat. So even if her side gets targeted these next few weeks, she's gonna be fine. Moving along to like her social game, she's likable in the house. People talk to her. A lot of people like bounce ideas off of her, and that's good to range like where people's heads are at. So yes, I'm giving Sue a 9 out of 10. And Ricky, I need you to go ahead and rate Hira.
Okay. Hira, I would do a 6 out of 10. You know, he won the veto, he pulled himself off. And I think like he's not going to be really targeted anytime soon, in my opinion.
So I'm going to actually agree with you again. It's weird how like we're agreeing now. 6 out of 10. Actually, I'm kind of tempted to go lower for like social reasons. I think that he is going to be. He's expendable. I feel like to a lot of people, which I mean is not as bad as like being targeted. So expendable is better than being targeted, but that's not great. He did pull out a clutch veto. Had he not won the veto and somehow the nomination stayed the same though, he probably would have been going home this week. So that's another like flaw on his end. He seems to like want to hold his integrity and like not lie and stuff like that. I'm worried about that for a future like scenario where he needs to like really pull out like some villain stuff. So for those reasons, I feel like I'm in Shark Tank, and for that reason, I'm out.
Oh my god.
But yes, for that reason, I'm giving a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Who do you want to go for next?
Let's do Vanessa.
Okay, let me go first.
Okay.
So Vanessa, dear, I'm actually going to be nicer than I should be, and give you a 5 out of 10. Sweetie, if this was based off position, I think you're in a better position than your like gameplay rating, because I mean, I don't think you're gonna go home next week. However, what you're doing with your power and knowledge and people is so strange, and it's Bella BB21 vibes. Like if you have these connections with like the Kemis and the whatever, why would you just rat them out to other people? Like it's just so stupid.
Okay, I said 2 sentences.
Okay, well,
Anyways.
Vanessa, girl, stop. Continue.
Vanessa, 10 out of 10.
Oh my god.
I think she's playing amazing. I'm gonna get some tape.
Literally ridiculous.
I think she's literally playing the best game, and I think she has the capabilities of a winner. She knows how to do damage control. She knows how to play both sides. She knows how to hide her tracks, cover her footprints, and keep people off the trail of like who's her number one. And I have high hopes for her.
All right. I'm not going to comment no more.
Okay,
Go.
Madeline.
Yes.
I'll go first.
Mhm.
6 out of 10. I think that. Oh my god. I keep getting called. We have to hurry this up. Sorry, viewers. Time is money. Madeline, I think 6 out of 10. She is playing decent. Could be better. Could be worse. I think she can go. I think I see her like going out mid jury at this point. I feel like. I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to give Miss Madeline a 5 out of 10. I don't think that she's playing horrible. I don't think she's playing great. She could possibly be a target next week. So for those reasons, 5 out of 10.
Okay. Next, we're gonna do Sheldon.
Okay.
Honestly, 7 out of 10. I think he's playing decent, and I can see him going mildly far. I
Mhm.
don't know if he has what it takes to be a winner, though. That's my thing.
Okay. Strange you say that because I really think that he has the huge potential to win. I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10 because I just think he's in a good position. I feel like he's not pissing people
Right.
off, and yeah, I like his position in the game.
Okay.
Go with Rianne.
Oh my god, we have a lot done. Oh yeah, Rianne. Okay, Rianne, I'm going to do a 4 out of 10.
Oh my god.
I think your gameplay sucks. I forget you half the time, and the only reason why I'm giving you a 4 is because I don't see anyone targeting you, because it'd be a waste.
Okay, you're being so harsh. Like you're like being harsh at like people who don't deserve it. Like I don't understand.
We just don't agree.
So Rianne, I'm gonna give you a 6 out of 10. I don't think that you did great things this episode or this week, but I think that you're like putting the foundation down for a good game this week by making social bonds. So I'm gonna
A
give you a
good
6.
game.
Okay, we're literally either Vanessa or Rihanna's winning this season, and I can't wait to figure out who comes out on top.
Vanessa's winning.
No,
Sorry.
no, she's not.
Yeah, she is. I'm calling it first. I can't wait.
Okay, let's do Carol so we can end with Jamar because I like Jamar. Okay, I'll do Carol really quick. Carol girl, I'm gonna give you.
You still have Johnny Luke too.
Oh, John Luke. Oh yeah. Okay, well let's do
I
still
said
Carol
Johnny,
first.
LOL. Okay.
Johnny Luke. Carol, I'm gonna give you a 1 out of 10. Not because this is strictly gameplay this week and this week alone. Girl, you almost self-evicted. Disgusting. Over a tooth. Grow up. You're literally like 40. You're the oldest person in the cast. Get over it. You go ahead.
Okay. I'm giving Carol a 0 out of 10.
Oh my god. I wish I knew we could do that.
You trying to self-evict is absolutely disgusting with no valid reason. Like, chip your tooth. What are you, a billionaire? Like, I'm sorry. You came to play Big Brother. You know, there's some consequences, and chipping your tooth is the least of your worries.
Right.
Because the amount of hate mail you'll probably receive after the season, or DMs, I should say. Get ready. It's gonna be worse than that tooth tip, whatever, tooth chip.
Chipped tooth.
Chip. Anyway, I need to go. Okay, 2 more.
John Luke, go.
What? Who?
John Luke.
John Luke. Honestly, 7 out of 10. I think he's been playing decent, and I think that.
I'm sorry. Continue.
I was waiting for you to say it. No, that's not actually my true score. Okay. John Luke, I'd say 4 out of 10. Like,
okay, I was like,
I do not see him getting past. I don't see him getting to jury. I'm sorry. Like, what? But we'll see.
yeah. I agree. I'm gonna go with like a 3, or actually I'm gonna go 2 because he is like such a big target for the next week if certain people win HOH, like a Kyle or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
he's toast. So 2.
Okay, last
Jamar.
Jamar. I'm gonna do I'm gonna give Jamar a 10.
Okay.
I think Jamar is so likable, and I just love him so much. And I think that I don't see him getting Target anytime soon. I think people really like his energy. They feed well into it. And the only thing I could see him biting in the ass is if he's talking to his live feeders and someone catches him like Cliff in PB21.
Okay, Cliff ass. I'm going to not give him a 10, but I'm going to give him a 9 for his gameplay this week. I think that he's put himself in like the middle position, but no one sees them as like the middle. Like people view other people as the middle, but he never comes up. Everyone thinks that they're good with him. He's really putting down like the social hard work that he needs to for early game. And I definitely think that he's making jury and going super far. So that is going to wrap up this podcast. Everyone, thank you for watching me and Ricky discuss the week. Comment down below if you like this rating system. It might change. I'm not exactly sure. We're just testing out the water. So if you have other ideas, let me know. Or on
if
Twitter.
anyone comes for Vanessa, we're gonna have a problem.
Okay,
So
well, something tells me they might, but Ricky,
and also my camera angles. I'm sorry. I'm on my phone.
Ricky, where can they find you on social media?
Oh, so on Instagram, I'm ZBB House. That's my fandom Instagram, or on Twitter, Z Big Brother.
Okay.
My personals are my personals. Leave them alone.
Okay, so Daniel Icon Brown on all platforms. Catch me there. And yeah, so give this video a like. It helps out a lot more than you think it does. And I guess that's it. I can't really think of anything else to plug. So thank you guys so much. See you later.
Bye.